Hi, everyone. So we're back with fascia today. We're going to talk to Anna Palm again, and she's going to lead us through some really interesting stuff about fascia and how it relates to your intuition. And we're going to talk about how the emotional body affects the physical body and how it's important to be working with both bodies while you're healing. So take us away, Anna.
Awesome. So I think first of all, if you're watching this channel and you're understanding this, you know that our bodies are going from a carbon base to a crystalline base. And I understand all of that from an energetic perspective, and so I know that makes things easier for me. So I'm trying to not be so scientifically, medically, too many words and break down things. And we are going to put some of these definitions down in the comments instead to make it easier. And I don't mind talking about this deeper to people that need it. But so fascia, a way that another woman that I learned a lot from explains it is she says it's our Kevlar. And when I think about it like that and see it like that, how it protects everything about us. If we didn't have it, we would just be like a mess on the floor. I mean, we need to be able to carry ourselves around or do anything. But when you look at it from an energetic perspective and what it's doing, it's sending signals all day, everything. I mean, it has to do with the nervous system, it has to do with the emotions, it has to do with the physical body. And so what I've learned is that when we have locked emotions, they are locked in our bones, in our fascia. And that could depend on what you believe. It could be from past lifetimes. It could be trauma from this lifetime. You can have locked fascia from twisting your ankle 30 years ago and your body healed it, but it created scar tissue. And so it healed around that. And so it made you walk differently and you protected your body. The same as aging, you know, that being a belief system, and our body starts to age, starts to wrinkle. So if you're coming at fascia from the aspect of unaging or unwrinkling, you have to go into it with, you know, going from the belief system of understanding that that's not true. So I'm going to say a couple of little definitions to try to make this make a little bit more sense. The word proprioception is, they say that it's our sixth sense, and it's the sense of body in our bodies in space. Like when you push against something, how your body knows how much force, because the force pushing back against it is energetic, and that part of your body can feel it. So there's receptors all over our body, which are in our fascia, and they're called proprioception receptors. And that's what tells your nervous system and your brain how far to push, or if you can take your next step. And interoception is the seventh sense, they say, and that is the perception of sensations from inside the body. How your body knows how to take its next step from inside, or how it knows that you need to go to the bathroom. That you have to pee feeling is an interoception telling you that you have to go pee. So with those two things,
Good analogy.
and then the next thing is something that is in our brain. It's called a reticular activating system, and it helps us, since we are energetic beings and everything is energy. The reticular activating system helps us shut down a lot of the stimuli that's coming in. So think if the reticular activating system wasn't there, everything that was going on would just be overload on our bodies, on our systems. We wouldn't be able to focus on anything. So I use the fly example. Me and you were talking, having this, filming this video, having a conversation, and there's a fly in the room, and I hear it. I'm gonna know it's there, but I'm gonna be able to keep focusing on you. Right. And then, but if it comes and lands on me, am I gonna be able to keep talking to you and focusing on you, or because it touched me? So that has to do with the proprioception and interoception. because something inside my body's like, oh, get that fly off of me. And this is funny because I asked
Right.
my daughter the other day, we were having a conversation, and I said, okay, that's why I just landed on you, and you got so aggravated. It changed your whole facial expression. It changed your whole demeanor. Why? And she said, because it's puking on me. And I was like, where'd you get that from? She's like, I don't know. I was like, so that's a belief system. Even
Mhm.
if it is, what's that doing? Is that hurting you right now in this moment? Are you able to keep doing what you're doing? You're making yourself lunch or something, and now you're just like, what? There's a fly on me.
Mhm.
So anyways, those little things that trigger us, they're little triggers, whether it's you're doing something and somebody comes in the room and aggravates you, and the feelings that come up in you are these energies. Anyway, so they relate to belief systems because that's trying to protect us. So if you, like if you, the reticular activating system, another way to explain that is if you're a new mom and you're sleeping and the baby's asleep, an airplane can fly over your house and you won't wake up. But if the baby wakes up, you're going to instantly be awake, whether you think you heard it or not. So that's part of, to me, that's a big part of our awareness is the reticular activating system. So Dr. Anna describes it like if you, how does she say, if you buy a yellow SUV, then you're going to see yellow SUVs everywhere.
Mhm.
So it's a part of our awareness to me. So the reason why I'm trying to explain some of this to make it easier as relating it to fascia, when you start doing fascia work, depending on what aspect you're coming at it from, like unaging, unwrinkling,
Oh, you went mute.
pain, or dis-ease stuff, depending on what angle you're going at it from. When you decide to start doing the fascia work, your body is going to resist everything that you're doing because this is not known to your body. So it's going to tell you that it's painful, that doesn't, just say if you're laying on the block to work on your stomach or losing weight and you start trying to breathe, that's going to tell you, it's going to send anxiety, chemical feeling through your body because it's going to make you think you can't get a deep enough breath.
Right.
It's going to kick in the reticular activating system, telling you move, lift yourself up so you can take a deep enough breath because your body needs more oxygen. But when you're able to get away from, I should call that part of like your monkey mind, because it's just telling you what it knows, it's on its loop, that's what it thinks. Then you can start working in places where you wouldn't think you could to unlock fascia.
Taking control of your emotions at that point. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's what it becomes a big part of, because the emotions, you'll start unlocking the emotions, so they'll start coming up, which at that point, that's what our bodies like to do anyway, is when anything starts happening that we don't like, we get up and go do something else, or we go eat, or go do something.
Yeah.
And if you start pushing through those things, doing the fascia work, that's how you get into the deep fascia. Because the difference in superficial fascia, that has a lot to do with the detox, which we're going to talk about in the next video. And a lot of it, you have to get through that, because all of this stuff is, when you think about it, like Kevlar, it's that tight, it's that hard. In the last video, I don't know if you remember, I said that it can adhere with the up to 2,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. So if you think about that, you're pushing against that every time you go to work with fascia. And then the whole perspective of what we resist persists. So you have to think about that aspect. And then to me, that's where this part of fascia being intuitive comes in, about the breath.
Right.
we're not taught to breathe, how to breathe.
Diaphragmatic, is that what you were gonna say?
Right. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And I was gonna read something I wrote down.
Yeah, breath. I've been learning so much about breath lately. So that's really exciting.
Yeah.
And it helps
is-
release the stuck emotions too. Breath.
Right. 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 I was looking for, I wrote it down, now I can't find it, but Eckhart Tolle says
Oh yeah.
that we are, I'm not gonna be able to quote him exactly, that's why I wrote it down, but it's, we are never in the moment unless we're taking consciously a deep breath. That's where you find yourself and you're able to be in that moment and able to calm your energy and able to get to that 0 point is in the breath. And then understanding that fascia has everything to do with our breath, with our diaphragm. Knowing, I mean, when you take the deep breath, you're taking in the oxygen, it's going to the bottom of your lungs where the alveoli do what they do, and the oxygen is going to your body. When you're unconsciously breathing, you're using accessory muscles, and your lungs aren't inflating and deflating like they should, so you're not taking in as much oxygen. So your fascia, your blood, your organs is not getting the oxygen or the blood cells, the water, all that stuff it needs, because all of that's part of the breath. So the diaphragmatic part of it is every breath that we take, that we're consciously thinking about it and breathing in deep, watching your stomach rise and fall and pushing out each breath. Also pushing out the breath is detoxing, because that's detoxing gases. So that's a whole nother part of it. But that brings you into the present moment, because you're able to stop the outside world and just focus on breathing. So
Yeah.
what that does with the fascia is connected to, your diaphragm is connected to these muscles that are like in your neck, in your chest, and to your pelvis. So
Okay.
think about every breath you're taking, if you're doing it consciously, it's activating fascia that is working on all that stuff. Physioelectricity has to do with heat in our body, keeping us warm, our internal temperature, or our temperature regulating stuff, all has to do with fascia. Part of what Deanna in block therapy explains is when she was trying to lose weight, she would run and run for miles and was never losing weight, was sweating. It was because she was running, but her fascia was not activating. She was running with all this locked in fascia. Yeah, her legs were able to run, her heart was doing its thing that it should be. She wasn't unhealthy, but she still had all this locked in fascia.
Right.
So the sweating part of it was really what made me understand that, because yeah, you're working out, but you're sweating thinking that you're losing weight, but that has nothing to do with it. That's just another chemical reaction that's happening in your body.
Well, and so correct me if I'm wrong, but does the fascia like hold in like lymph and weight, and like because it's all locked up, it's not letting it release it out?
Exactly. Yep, exactly. And there's different detox pathways. When we talk, we're gonna bring Dr. Elizabeth on the next video we do that. So that'll be so cool to talk with her about it and get, she can explain it. Because all this that I have is, I'm trying to explain it in different ways, but just because I understand it doesn't mean it's easy to explain it.
Right. Yeah, totally. So do you know what the main detox pathways are? Like I know as you go down into your neck and then you come down like near your collarbone, that's like a lymph detox. And do you think that the pathways follow the meridians?
Yeah, I really do.
Okay.
I really do, just because of the intuitive stuff that I've learned with fascia, like the things that I can show you how to do with your hands to unlock fascia if your shoulder blades bothering you or your neck. It's right on the meridian line, this one being the part of the triple burner meridian. And that's what taught me where the locked fascia is. But I also understand that around that same area, everybody has the muscle. So the fascia that wraps around that muscle is tight for anybody who is on their phone or reads on the computer because of how it strains these muscles up top.
Yeah, well, and our meridians are, there's so many things that are like involved with like almost creating multiple systems, you know? So the meridians are the energetic system, the fascia follows the meridians, and the fascia is the electrical system, and it's fascinating.
Right. And the fascia system is moving the lymph and moving the electricity, and the nervous system, it stays in place. It sends signals. Those signals go through the fascia, and then the fascia, depending on how locked in it is, you know, from the belief systems or from those things. And you have to be working at, like you said at the beginning, you have to be working at this from the emotional aspect and the physical aspect, because you can do little things like massage. That is getting into superficial fascia, and I'm sure deep massage gets into the other fascia, but to me, are the people who are getting the massage, whatever comes up, are they dealing with that? So I would think, so for me, the one and only time that I got a massage was in that, I had to do a thing, and I was away from my family for 30 days, and I had to be in this program. It was like an occupational health, physical health thing. Anyways, that was the only one time I got a real massage, and I was already awakening. All this was already happening for me, so everything was really weird. But that literally sent me to the hospital. I ended up in the hospital that day because of what that massage did energetically. My blood pressure was through the roof. I had to call the ambulance. Then nobody understood, and they thought I was having an anxiety attack and all this stuff. Now I understand what that massage actually did.
Yeah, a lot of people cry when they have body work. Like a lot of people just like release so much stuff. And I think that's been one of the greatest crimes against humanity of this like society, or whatever you want to call what we're in right now, this matrix, is that people have been separated from their emotional body, and they see everything through that lens of their ego and all those subconscious limiting beliefs. So
and that's what exactly here we are. And that part of the download that I was talking to you about yesterday, in all time, souls have been ascending. This is the first time that our bodies are ascending and going through this alchemical change, and nobody understands how powerful their body is. So everybody says sick or dis-ease, or, and those are all belief systems.
Yeah, they're all
hard to take.
Just like the placebo effect, like, you know, so you could give, I don't know, I heard about some study yesterday. I was listening to something, and it was the placebo effect had basically cured everybody. And then the people that thought that they were getting an actual pill didn't get cured.
So true.
Yeah.
I have done so many experiments on myself just with that, because once we know what the power that we have, and we're able to heal ourselves and do things that they want us to know, emotionally, physically, mentally.
It's massive. It's going to be massive. So
huge.
Yeah, very exciting. So let's suggest maybe everybody look up some of these things. We will put in the description, we'll put what diaphragmatic breath is, what, I don't know if I can even say it right, Interoception and proprioception.
And the reticular activation.
And reticular activation is. So we'll put those down in the description. And if you have questions, please leave them in the comments so that we can answer those questions for you. And, you know, Anna is looking at those comments just like I am, so she will be happy to answer, I'm sure. And we're going to move on. This next one we're going to do is about the tools you can use for your fascia. So we're going to talk about that. But take care of your emotional body.
Yes. Yes.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye.